Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Reb Steve from Bet Tzedek Congregation in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, where the weather is already shifting towards fall and winter. Welcome to Conversations Over Coffee. Today's guest is Shirel Barkan-Slater, who is our Director of Family Engagement, but really we just call her the Wizard. Because the Wizard of Oz, or the Wizard of Oz, right? The Wizard of Strength.
I like that one.
Shirel is just a fabulous family educator, and we're so happy to have her. We're so happy to have her on our team at Bet Tzedek, and we thought it'd be really, especially now as the weather's changing, as kids are back in school, to talk a little bit about what are some of the things that that young families are experiencing with relation to COVID. I'm sure I can speak not only from her own experience, but also from her professional experience. And then to talk a little bit about, how do synagogues adapt to creating meaningful family engagement at this time of COVID. So Shirel, why don't you, even before we get into that, why don't you tell us a little bit about you, where you were born, when you moved to Israel, and how you got to Canada.
Okay, I thought we were talking about my time in the intelligence, but you don't want to talk about it. That's fine.
I was going to get there, but we're not supposed to share with people your time with intelligence, right?
Right.
The Mossad time is supposed to be secret.
Yeah, I know. If you watch there, right, you can see someone like me can actually be there. So hi everyone, my name is Shirel. I'm really happy to work at Bet Tzedek. I have a fabulous time since. Well, by the way, I came to Bet Tzedek for 2 weeks and now it's 3 years. That's how it is. You just fell in love and it's a good shidduch and you stay. I was born in Ecuador, in South America, in Quito. I made Aliyah when I was 19. I spent 10 years in Israel, 10, 11. And then we decided.
What inspired you to make Aliyah when you were 19? Did you do that on your own? Did you do that with your family?
No, I did it totally on my own. Actually, we didn't have much contact with the Jewish community either. And the Jewish community in Ecuador is pretty small as well. But I had always this thing that I wanted well, my grandfather used to talk about Israel a lot. And I just wanted to know, go and see what's this Israel, this place that we do belong. So when I was 18, all my friends went to a non-Jewish school. All my friends went all over the world. And I decided I wanted to go to Israel, although my sister lived in Boston at that time. And my parents were like, are you sure you want to go to Israel? I think we were like, if I'm not wrong, the first time it was just when the second intifada was over. So my parents were pretty anxious about it. But I decided to go just to explore my roots, just to be in touch with Israel and see it and everything. And I fell in love. I felt home, like where people say that you just go in the plane and then go down and it's home. So that's exactly how I felt. So I went there, I did Taglit, and then I stayed a little bit longer. Then I went back to Ecuador because my parents didn't agree me to stay. I started to study university there. But my neshama, my soul wasn't happy over there anymore. So I made Aliyah by myself. I just came to my parents and said, I'm moving, I have a ticket. And they were like, no, you should just get married, have a degree. And I was like, no, actually I'm moving in like 3 months. It was a bit of a balagan, a bit of a mess in my family, but happily ever after, I had a good time in Israel. Right now here we are, we came for my husband here in Canada for my husband's studies. He did a degree with the Hebrew and the York University together. I was supposed to study as well, but as I said, I fell in love with Bet Tzedek. This is something that I didn't expect it like that. I've been a Jewish educator for many, many years. We live in a kibbutz in Israel, and I've been with the children Jewish educator since probably like 8 years before I came to Toronto. And then
what kibbutz did you live in?
So we're from kibbutz in Surin. We're members of the kibbutz. This is in the south. This is pretty close to Ashkelon. I met my husband when I was a lone soldier, very romantic, and I stayed.
Was he a lone soldier too, or was he just a
No, he's a kibbutznik. He's a Israeli. He just picked me up in the road.
you were hitchhiking?
So actually, this was with
That was
bicycles. With
what?
bicycles, I was walking and it was really rainy, and someone said, can I offer you help?" And I, with the army and the uniform, I felt like so ugly, and I was like, "No, I'm okay." And he was like, "No, you're almost falling with that bag." My bag was bigger than me. I'm pretty small. Those that know me, I'm really small, and my bag was pretty big. And he helped me. He was on a bicycle. Yeah.
He picked you up on a bicycle on the road in a rainy day.
Yeah. Well, it was a tricycle, but don't tell this.
That's a great story.
It was his man's tricycle, yeah.
Oh, what a great story.
That the rest is story. Now we have a 3-year-old, Mia. She's was born in Israel. Now she's pretty Canadian. We live here very happily next to, very close to the show.
What does it mean that she's pretty Canadian? She like goes outside without a coat when it's minus
Yes, yes. So yesterday, yesterday we had an amazing program. We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
And it was cold, and I was with a hat, with mittens and with a jacket, and she's like, "I'm so hot," and she just took it off. She and the other rabbi's kid, and they were without jackets, and I was like, "This is not my kid."
Ecuador to Israel to Canada. It's a weather change for you, that's for sure.
Yes, yes, in any sense. I never experienced the heat of Israel in my life, like like August heat. I never experienced the February cold here. So yeah.
Um, so since you've been here and you've been working with young families, with babies, as well as with small children, what are some of the pressures that and stresses and challenges that people are sharing with you now that we're entering our 9th month of COVID?
Wow, 9 months. I think challenges change over the time, and things didn't come as easier, but more difficult for people. I think at the beginning we were all in a survival mode. The first 3 weeks we were just like, we all at the show switched. Okay, we need to present everything online. We're not allowed to see each other. We need to do this in a meaningful way, as we did already. Um, and the families too, right? They needed to work, like myself, and have the kids next to them. So the first thing we thought is how can we support them, right? How can we give them, the kids, a meaningful time to keep the contact? Because I think we have developed an amazing relationship with the families. Like for myself, like the community is not just my workplace, but it's also my community. It's my friends, how to keep that connection, right? In these crazy times, that was something. We couldn't replicate the programs, but we needed to create programs from zero, and we needed to do it like in 24 hours, and we needed to do 4 times more than what we used to do. That was something that was very challenging. And the families too, we didn't know what was COVID. We didn't know how the crisis will be so big at the beginning. So I think the first week we were just trying to, survive. Then the rest of the time it was how do we really do this, right? How can we work with the kids? Because we need to work and we need to have the kids around. Um, and us as the shul, how to provide the support, how to do it meaningful. So we needed to learn the ways to do it. We're really, really, really lucky, just in general, not just in COVID time, that we have an amazing committee, the family committee. They are beyond amazing. So they have been all the time with them in conversations with us, with ideas, with feedbacks, and being with us, which has been just like super amazing. But I think right now that we all know that we're going to probably go back to a cold weather, because whenever the weather was nice, then things kind of a little bit relaxed. But now that the weather is going to be very cold, and we need to rethink how to engage them. We need to be very creative. We need to be excellent. Otherwise, it won't work.
So what are the things that you're thinking about as the weather is beginning to change?
So I'm going to tell you already, we have a plan with my amazing team, which is Daniel and Sylvie. We're going to have a Avdala, drive-in Avdalas. So it's going to be super fun too. And the families will be together in their cars, so it's safe as you can imagine. We're going to have activities. We're going to have even a craft. We're going to get some Play-Doh in a safety way. We're going to sing songs just to see each other in a very safe way. Even if the weather gets really bad in January, February, we can still use our cars, right? The other amazing thing we're planning already, we just talked in the morning, was a Purim. It's going to be amazing. You are included in the plans. So just to,
Hold on.
to
You got to
deliver this.
tell me what my role is.
Oh my God, we should put this online. So that was the other thing, right? Rosh Hashanah, for me, Rosh Hashanah was this crazy, amazing time where like thousands of people will come to the show and we have many, many kids and just, and that how to switch the mini fun experience. So I found out that I might be boring. So I have my puppet friends um, around that help me out and just try to also make our members to be participating. That's something that is important as well. So we have a lot of plans. I have already a calendar full of stuff. How to do this in a good way, because people are also super overloaded with Zoom and computers. So this is something that I would like to try to do as much as in person, the safe, in a safe way. But we will try to, even in the winter, to try to meet our members.
How many new babies are you working with, and tell us about what that program is?
Okay. Oh, that's the best program. I love it. So our baby classes really, like before COVID, were like, we didn't want to make it bigger than 13 babies, just to keep the VIP relationship with. I love those babies. I just, it's 9 months. You have no idea how they have grown up. So at the beginning, we needed to cancel everything. So these 13 babies were at home, and we tried to do Zoom, but Zoom for babies wasn't like a thing at all. So I think our strategy, for later in the winter, and what I did, it was to do for the parents. So teach them baby massage and teach them how to, go good nutrition for their babies, and try to more engage that parent. Maybe more for the parents will be in the future, but we have had a really great cohort, and right now we do it at the Cedarville too. We do it every Friday from 11:30 to 12:15. Because of the numbers restrictions, we need to be a maximum of 25, so we can have like 20 participants, babies, parents, grandparents. We do it super safely, more than 2 meters away from each other. And it's just so
Wearing
nice.
masks too, right?
No, outside they don't need to be with masks.
Outside, you mean? Oh,
No,
outside.
it's outside in the Cedar Bed, and they are
Oh, that's
really
Cedarville.
separated at the Cedar Bed. Right. Indoor,
You
we're
said at
not
the
doing that.
synagogue. That's why I was confused. So.
Oh no, we're not doing the synagogue, and right now because of the numbers, I didn't even think of requesting that from you guys. But we will have this Friday, Besrat Hashem, God willing, the weather will be good enough to run another one, and then we will need to go online again.
And then what was this program that you had just recently?
That was in our parking lot. We decided, because in case of rain. So another thing that it was really helpful for me is to have conversation with our members. We did calls. We've been calling a lot of members, and just to ask them, how can we help you? How can we support you? Um, and they told me like not long ago that they would like to see each other. Like even if it's cold, let's try to do it for like less time, but let's see each other. So we did it at the parking lot. It was a PJ Library event called David and the Akavish, which is the spider. And we learned about the importance of the creatures and how God creation are all important. And we danced and we did exercises, we did some Zumba. It was amazing to see them.
I think it's important for the audience to know a little bit more about David and the spider. This is like really one of my favorite stories, which comes from the Bible. David is fleeing Saul, and he's in the Ein Gedi area, and he goes into a cave to go to sleep. And God sends a spider to spin a web over the cave, so that when Saul's soldiers come looking for David, they see that the cave has a spider web over it and say, there's no way that somebody can be there because the spider web is intact. And then they go on, and David ends up evading Saul's soldiers who were looking for him. And of course, the moral of the story is that every creature that God creates has a purpose. And even though sometimes when we see spiders in our homes, our tendency is to take a shoe, the reality is that a spider is God's creature as well, and it serves a purpose. And that's one of the morals of that great story. And so it was. Is there a PJ Library book about David and the spider?
Yes, it's an amazing PJ Library. By the way, PJ Library is amazing, I must say. I think I say it all the time, but I want to say it again. It's an amazing organization, and we have the book. I actually couldn't find the physical book, but we had it on.
PJ Library is.
I think I'm freezing.
Or family member have a child under 8, you can register for PJ Library.
Okay, yeah, I think Reb Steve is having some technical issues over there. So I think he was just talking about how PG Library, it's an organization that they send every month. It's a free of charge book with Jewish content. They have a lot of books in all of the subjects. It can be the holidays or values or the Shabbat. So you just need to go on the online and register. It's pretty easy. I think they start to send the books after you are like, I think about like 6 months old, the baby, and then they will send it until 12 years old. If I'm not wrong, they have these amazing books. I've been using for my programs most of the time these books, and we're really good partners. I love the organization. And Reb Steve, you thinking he's back? Yes, he's back.
Hi, I'm back.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yes.
So I was just talking a little. I was trying to say a little bit about PJ Library. That for those that might not know what PJ Library is, it is a project founded by the Harold Greenspoon Foundation in partnership with federations across the world and private donors to deliver a book, a children's book of Jewish content to families with children under the age of 8. It's a free book. It's a wonderful, wonderful service. There's like 600,000 some subscriptions worldwide right now. And if you or your children or your grandchildren or you know somebody who would benefit from this, all you have to do is sign them up at the PJ Library website in Toronto at UJ Federation, and you can participate with that. And we at Bet Tzedek are proud partners of PJ Library.
Yeah.
So tell us, Shirel, some of the programs and activities you have scheduled to come up for the winter.
Okay, so also, as you people might know, if you don't know, Bet Tzedek is really into diversity to present the different type of people who live here in the world. We have something that I'm really excited about too. I'm going to be teaching to do sphinge. We're going to read a story, and I'm going to tell you what is. Reb Steve, do you know what is a sphinge?
No.
Okay. So on Hanukkah, this is in Hanukkah, we have a lot of programs before too. In Hanukkah, the amazing Moroccan Jewish culture have this very tasty donut that it's called sphinge. So it's also made with a lot of oil, and it's very sweet. It's so tasty. So in this program, it's going to be connected also with the PJ Library. So it's 2 different programs, but connected. The first part, we're going to be reading the story and about Hanukkah. And the second part, we're going to be also getting a little bit into this amazing culture, the Moroccan culture, Jewish culture, with the story, with music, and with the sphinge. I'm going to teach you how to do it. The recipe is going to be in our website very soon, so you need to have your ingredients around. We're going to have a Hanukkah craft. This is with Sylvie, my friend. A craft that we're going to do all together at the same time through Zoom. We're going to be we're going to be having some packages with our teams. They will fill that with some crafts. This is Hanukkah again. Well, Hanukkah, we have a lot of programs. So I'm going to, you know what, maybe jump to and drive in Abdallah's. They sound amazing to us. And then let me see, because I have all my calendars here. January, we have still the PJ libraries, the baby classes as well. The Chesed project, okay, I want to promote my Chesed project. This is the third year we're doing the Chesed project. The Chesed project is for kids in grades 1 to 5 and their families. It's teaching me mitzvot through hands-on programs. So we're going to teach the mitzvah, but we're actually going to be doing amazing things. We, these past 2 years, did really amazing things with the Be'afta. Then we went to perform a Hanukkah story to our, a nursing home around the Cedarville area. It was amazing. And this year we're going to be doing 3 different kind of things. We're right now collecting books for the Children's Book Bank. So email me to sbarkan@betzedek.org to register, and we're just collecting books for other children. Books are very important. They give us entertainment and a lot of knowledge, and that's a gift that you can reopen it again and again, right? So that's for grades 1 to 5. Then in January, we're going to have all the Tu B'Shvat amazing things, the PJ library, a Seder from our teens to our kids. And I have a lot. Can I go on?
I think that's enough. I don't think people remember all of that.
I know.
Where can people find out more about what's going on for these for this age group?
Yeah, great question. So first of all, our calendar. Everything is on calendar. God willing, this week or all of these programs will be already there. If not, you can find us on the Facebook, Betzedek Facebook. Also, we have now, I think, an Instagram already. So there, all of our programming will be over there. You're always welcome just to give me a call, and I can go with you for the 2 or 3 weeks of programming.
And does one have to be a member of Betzedek to participate in these programs?
No, you just want to. The only thing you need is just the willingness to be with us and have a good time and meaningful time. So you don't need to be a member. Just give us a call. You're all welcome.
What else? We have some time, so tell me what else is important for people to know.
What else is people to know? I think my message for the parents right now will be that even for me, that we're getting into the winter, it feels that it's going to be a very long winter. But I think if we are all going to do this together and connecting with each other as a community, we can make this a much better time. I know COVID times are very difficult, and here at Betzedek, we're here for you. So if you have any idea how can we make this much more meaningful for your children, and help you out with just I don't know, as a family programming or just activities to do, give us a call. I'm also really willing to hear for other ideas. We can always do more. And don't worry, we're going to be, we're going to pass this.
I think those are both very important messages. The one is that this is a collaborative cooperative process. We don't pretend to have all the answers or to be the most creative people in the world, although I think we are pretty darn creative, especially you, Shirel.
Thank you.
But innovation, also comes in chevruta, comes in groups and in collaboration. And the second thing is, as you said, is that though this is a marathon and not a sprint, there is an end to it eventually. And in the meantime, we have to continue to keep ourselves sane and to support each other at these times of crisis. Right.
Yeah, and we hope to see you guys again in our dinners. And one day I can just imagine the afterwards. It's going to
Well,
be
we also
fun.
we should say to people, we have received a grant from a congregant to challenge us specifically for innovation in terms of connecting with young families. And so right now we are in the process of imagining, how can we do that in this environment? And so let's invite whoever's watching, if you have ideas of creative ways to engage families with young children, which we qualify as one child under the age of 10, then please be in contact with Shirel or me, but better Shirel, and, uh, and and partner with us in terms of working to figure that out. Okay, I just want to say to everyone that's watching, you can find out more from our website, www.beth-tzedec.org, about all the family engagement opportunities that are taking place, including the baby engagement series that Shirel is doing, which is just so wonderful, as well as all the other activities that are taking place at Beth Tzedec this week and in the week ahead. I just want to highlight one for a broad audience, and that is on November 5th. The Neighborhood Interfaith Group is taking a virtual interfaith tour of Israel. We invite you to come and participate in that. Information is available on our website, as is registration. Registration is required for that, but we look forward to having this virtual tour with our Neighborhood Interfaith Group in Jerusalem. Just one of the many activities that we're doing, that we may be physically distant, but we remain spiritually near. And we don't want to just wish everyone very well, and have a good day and a good week. Shirel, thanks for joining us.
תודה רבה, שבוע טוב. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.